Now you're welcome back. So we are joined on the line by Brendan Doyle. Brendan, great to have you back in the show. Good to talk to you again. Ooh, we can't hear you. I don't know, is that us or you? Just double check you're not on mute for us there. You seem to be hearing me okay.
No,
got you now. Got you now.
There we go.
How you doing? Great to talk to you again. Good to have you back on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we did a really, I got a great reaction, a lengthy interview before Christmas about your career, really. Everything from your time in the Gardaí to leaving the Gardaí to going through a very difficult time to finding a way back through sport to it turning out you were damn good at the skeleton to your ambition to make a Winter Olympics, having missed out very narrowly on the last games. And when we last spoke ahead of a busy winter for you, you had been blown away by the response to your GoFundMe page, where you needed sponsorship and help, frankly, to tour and take part in the sport in various ways. You're not a carded athlete, and you were, remarking on just how generous people have been, and you were embarking on what you hoped would be a successful period of qualifying events. And it seems you did really well in a lot of these qualifying events. Third in the North American Cup, top 10 finishes in lots of very competitive fields, and you were 41st in the world, which I think really at any other stage would have you going to a Winter Games. But sadly for you, rules have changed slightly. Numbers allowed in have been shortened from 30 to 25. So it looks like you're just going to miss out. Maybe you're kind of 27th in line at the moment. Is that a fair summation of where we are?
Yeah, well, that's some journey when you lay it out like that. This season has been just another breakthrough season with some kind of phenomenal finishes. Out in Whistler, I actually finished second in one of the North American Cup races, and I was just kind of really riding the wind on that one, and we went to compete in Park City and Lake Placid, New York, and things were all going in the right trajectory, and I even took on the world's most difficult track in Altenburg in Germany, where I had about maybe 10, 15 attempts to get up there with the competition, but I managed to get up there and get some top 15 finishes, which I was extremely proud of. And looking at it through the whole season, I executed the best I could, and there was a lot of things that were out of my control. And one of those things was basically the new rules brought in, as you mentioned, the sled quota spots set out by the International Bobsled and Skeleton Federation were changed in 2019, which basically resulted in a loss of 5 sleds for the male side, which were reallocated over to the women's side. The original system was actually a percentage-based model, which basically looked at how many athletes were on the male side, how many athletes were on the female side, and they came up with a relative figure. So Normally it was 30 for men, 20 for women. But they've come up with basically a blanket approach of 25 each side, and those numbers have to go from somewhere. So unfortunately, they came from the men's side, which resulted in, for the first time ever, an athlete in the top 40 not going to the Olympic Games, which is an incredibly tough thing to go on my CV. But that's kind of the situation on the ground right now.
You brought this to CAS, I think, the Court of Arbitration for Sport.
Yeah, so I mean, I came home from my last competition on the 7th of January, and we were basically just looking at the figures, doing the maths, and we realized that we needed to start preparing for all circumstances. So we actually found some solutions. There was free spots in the bobsled that could be reallocated over to men's side. There was precedent in 2010 when this exact thing happened. And we made some strong cases, and we brought it before CAS, but there was a lot of things just didn't go our way, and we were kind of delayed outside of our powers. And it was last minute. I found out just last night that our case was just dismissed. We weren't given any further details. We were just told case dismissed, and that was how I found out that I'm not going.
Brutal. Am I right in saying you even had your Irish uniform?
Yeah, I mean, given the difficulties surrounding travel right now with COVID and trying to get to China, there's a lot of like logistical nightmares to get out there. So we were basically waiting day on day for responses from either the IOC or the IBSF, and we just didn't get any. So we had to prepare. So, look, the Olympic Federation of Ireland, they've been the gold standard of what an NOC, a National Olympic Committee, should be. And the support they've given me has just been absolute world class. And, we got the kit and the accreditation and all those things that I dream of since a kid. And that moment was in front of me, but I wasn't allowed to enjoy it because I knew that it wasn't for sure until we saw it in writing. So that was a tough day. And what was even worse was I had to try it on to make sure it fit, which is like really, really tough. But, it's just been such a whirlwind for the last, even before getting out, I was talking to you last time and I didn't think I would make it. And then having the reception from, the general public and the support and the help and GoFundMe, my heart was filled. So, there was a part of me that was believing that maybe this look would continue during this cast case, but unfortunately it kind of ran out.
It's cruel in just so many ways. Even with regard to the many options they would have had to achieve gender balance, instead of going 25-25, they could have just upped the number of female places to 30. If a 30-person competition worked very well for the men's, traditionally, why not stick with 30? So even that decision, has had such a profound effect. What's your primary emotion right now?
Look, it's something that I put my heart and soul into, and I think anybody who's kind of even stopped in to see what I'm doing can see that I'm giving my absolute everything to it. Right now, I'm feeling a lot of pain, a bit of embarrassment that I didn't do better, and a sense of loss. I feel like I've let the Olympic Federation down and a lot of people who have been there for me. But I know that they will pass, and I can look back and be proud of the amazing performances I put in, and to be 41st, I think that was the second highest ranking Irish led in our history. So there are positives to take from it. But what I will say is that I'm more stubborn than the pain I'm feeling right now. So I'm going to use that to fuel kind of getting to Italy in 2026.
Oh, that was my next question, because I was thinking 2026 is a long time away. You're 36 years of age.
Yep.
It would be, I suspect, a very viable option to say, well, that's that.
It absolutely would be. The thing about skeleton is it's a sport of experience. We've got the top three sliders are all over, plus in their 40s and older. And realistically, the two kind of tests that I have to see if I continue on is if I keep progressing like I am. So every single year I've been getting better and better and better. From 2019 to this point, my world ranking in 2018 was 96th or 95th, and now I'm 41st. So if I keep pushing and I keep progressing, and then the second one is if I can fund it, and that's the two scary things. The performance I can control, the funding I can't really, and missing out on opportunities like the Olympics, I feel is a difficult thing to overcome, because it would have opened up a lot of opportunities in terms of sponsorship and career paths and different things to keep this going. So I do have a lot of things I need to think of over the next few weeks, but I think right now I just need to get through the next few days and try to just get through the Olympic period the best I can. Yeah.
Are you going to be able to stomach watching it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's a tough one, because I put down the work, I put down the results, I did everything I could, and it's tough. I'd obviously just going to keep an eye out on my Irish teammates, and it feels a little wrong not to be there, but I have to do what I need to do to keep myself happy in such a difficult situation. Like, it's a very emotional situation. This is my everything, and it's just outside of my hands. So I may have to kind of look at the timesheets afterwards as opposed to sit and watch it live.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. So by being 41st in the world, with presumably limits on numbers from the same country all turning up, you can't have 41 Americans. Am I right in saying you're about 27th in line, just outside the 25? Is that where you're hovering? So was there a degree of hanging around for a withdrawal here or there, or a late injury as well?
Oh, man, COVID, people rolling their ankles, anything. I was right there, and
So you had a voodoo doll out of a few people, did you?
oh man, anything. Anything. I'd say that I wouldn't wish anything bad upon anyone else.
No,
but,
of course, I'm joking.
I've obviously be there for the opportunity, 100%. I mean, there's even right now there's shifts in the current rosters. I mean, I know there's two of the Russian athletes have just had to sit down from COVID. So, and then apparently one of the Russian Germans has a COVID case. So there's a lot of movement going around the circuit right now. So things will change, but I think it's a little late for me, and
Okay.
all I can do is look forward.
Okay, so it's done. There's no chance, even if there's another 1 or 2 or 3 withdrawals and you get the phone call, that it could be turned around.
Yeah, I mean, given it's the 1st of February, you know, to get out to China, I'd be the 3rd or 4th. I'm missing the opening ceremony, and realistically, I don't actually have any time down this brand new track, the Beijing sliding side. I don't have any time down it, so it'd be tough to compete off 5 attempts at the track and then compete at the Olympics.
Yeah. So the Winter Olympics will happen. You'll avoid it or keep an eye on it or do whatever you have to do to get through it. And then will you just start hitting tracks again and get back going competing again very soon? Or how does the landscape continue post-Olympics, immediately post-Olympics?
I'll probably watch it from afar. But my goal right now is I've started plans in place. I've intentions of moving over to the States and living out in Lake Placid. So I am beside a track so I can push all year round, so I can prepare for the physical side of the competition. And then, you know, as soon as the ice hits, it's less of an expense to uproot my life and get over there. So, you know, opportunities like finding remote work so I can work from home, and then getting out to the likes of Lake Placid and living by a track. I think they're 2 changes I need to make. I don't want to be sitting here making the same mistakes over the next 4 years. I need to change something, and I've proven that I've got the sliding ability. I've proven I've got the mental strength to do it. I've got the physical strength to do it. So there's something that I need to change, and I feel getting out to a track is going to be one of those big catalysts to kind of get that change, and maybe even push up into those kind of top third of the world.
Well, you're right on the cusp, and your performances obviously over the last couple of months have shown that. And I'm not overly familiar with the various aspects of the world of skeleton. There's no professional arena in the intermittent 4 years whereby you can compete and make money at all. It's thoroughly amateur all the way, is it?
Yeah, it's amateur all the way. So I have, based off this year's performances, I've qualified Ireland for the World Cup Series again. So that's the highest level of competition. So I've qualified us for that spot again. So I will be competing World Cup, and we've qualified for World Championships, which will be in St. Moritz come February. So again, there's a lot of positives to look forward to, and I've done a lot for sliding sports and winter sports in Ireland. We're all talking about it now, and we're looking to build a sport as well. So there's a lot of things happening. It's just I need to kind of weather the storm for the next few days and take solace that I put everything down.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, listen, really sorry to hear that, because I did wonder after our interview how the winter had gone for you, and it looks like it went great and you would have been feeling pretty good about things. So to be 2 places out and to miss out is heart-wrenching under these circumstances, Brendan, I can only imagine. So best wishes, and we might talk to you down the line when you're up and running again, hopefully around Lake Placid and feeling better about life. Yeah,
for sure. And just, again, if I could just take 2 minutes just to thank anybody and everybody who's taking the time to support me, donate to me, my sponsors. Everyone has been fantastic with their support. I'm a guy on my own, heading out to these tracks with absolutely no help. And the support has kind of just validated all of my efforts and energy and financial commitment I've made to this sport. It's filled my heart. So I just want to thank everybody.
Oh, good man. Well, listen, we wish you well. Brendan Doyle, thanks a million.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers. Brendan Doyle with us there, who's 41st in the world in skeleton, has just missed out in the Winter Games by 2 spots, which is not easy to take. And were it any other previous games, he would be very much going, but they have cut the number of slots for men's to 25 from 30, so he's hovering around the 27 mark. So it was an incredible effort to do as well as he did, as you can imagine. And I would encourage you, if you're interested in Brendan's story, just have a look on our YouTube channel and you'll find an amazing interview there where he talks about his backstory, which I'd highly recommend as well. So that's Brendan Doyle.
Off the Ball on News Talk.